Yeah, if you believe in evolutionary theory, then I guess we developed from small organisms in the sea, and then we crawled out of the sea onto the land, and for some reason we started as kind of fish, and we ended up as thinking monkeys. I'm not convinced. I like the way that science uses the word theory, right? Theory. It just means it's not a fact. It's an idea. It's like Darwin's theory of evolution is still just a theory. It's a very good theory. It's very practical, but it's still just a theory because yeah, it's still just a theory. It's like Einstein's theory of relativity. It's still just a theory. It's it's not it's not actually a fact. It's a very good theory. It's a very interesting theory, but Tesla and Einstein were at opposites. They both had different theories about the way the universe works, and so far, neither of them has been proven right. Um, so the theories are good ways to try to take steps forward. Obviously, there was some truth in what they discovered and what they did because that's kind of why we have all this technology today. But the big ideas are still theories. Um, so when someone says, "I have this theory," it's like, well, that's not a fact. Or someone says, "I think," that's not a fact. Or it's or someone uses the word if. If is the most powerful word in the English language. If is the most powerful word in the English language because you can present information which is not true. Um, American Vice President Al Gore. He was vice president, wasn't he? He was vice president, yeah. His presentation about global warming that he won a Nobel Peace Prize for his presentation. The whole presentation is formed around the word if. Every statement is if, if. There are no facts. There are no facts in this presentation. Everything is if. You have to go. Okay. No problem. So, yeah, in terms of in terms of planning for the future and using human imagination, if is very important because it helps us dream. It helps us get ideas out of our head. But it also means we are talking about things which are not real. So it's great because we can use it to explore reality without actually being in reality. And a classic example of this is really important. A classic example of this is if you want to learn what another person's opinion is about a topic or a subject, you can ask them if without asking them for facts. For example, let's take a crazy example. If I ask you a question about marketing, will you give me an answer? I'm not asking you a question about marketing, but I'm putting you in a position to give me an answer without actually asking you a question, without actually asking the question. That's a bit abstract. Let's take another example. This is something I teach to my teenage students, but don't tell anyone, okay? It's a little secret. It's a language secret that I teach to my teenage students, especially boys. I say to the boys, if you like a girl, you want to ask her out, and you're a bit nervous or you're not sure, or you're not confident, then ask her with if. If I ask you out, what will you say? You're not actually asking her out. So even if she says no, It's it's not rejection, because people fear no. People fear the negative answer. People fear the rejection. That's why they don't. That's why they don't ask the question. So if I ask you out, will you say yes? And if she says no, then you're like, okay, so I won't do it. But if she says yes, and you go, okay, will you go out? And you already have the answer before you ask the question. It's extremely powerful. You can use that in any situation. You can hear from time to time, I use it with my students. When I don't know if a student wants to talk about a subject, I will explore the topic with if. If I ask you to tell me more, will you tell me more? I'm not asking, I'm just saying if. It's a very powerful way to explore reality. A bit manipulative, but you don't have to use it in a negative way. There we go. The power of if.